Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Dennis, thank you for those wonderful words and for all that you do, especially in Haiti at this time. Loretta, our dear, wonderful friend, congratulations. We love you very much. It's great to be back in Dublin and a distinct privilege on my part to introduce tonight's guest of honour. Ireland has always had the strongest of affinities with America and many of its presidents, but none compares to the relationship that exists between this entire island and tonight's guest of honour. Put simply, apart from his many obvious gifts as a political leader, a statesman, a brilliant orator, a genius tactician on the battlefield of politics, this is a man who understands and has consistently empathised with the Irish culture and its people more than any other political leader in living memory. In these most challenging of economic times, it is fitting that he should be invited to speak with us here this evening on the global economy and Ireland's future as a part of same. It's also worth remembering, lest we forget, that during his 2 terms as president, this is a man who presided over a period where the US economy enjoyed more peace and prosperity than any other time in its history. And during that period, he created the lowest unemployment and inflation rates in decades. And, in case you've forgotten, he delivered 3 budget surpluses. And when he handed over the keys, he balanced the books. After politics, as Dennis has said, everything that he achieved in the field of politics has been further outstripped by the work that he's done since he left the presidency. His work in the William J. Clinton Foundation to help alleviate poverty around the world is best exemplified, as Dennis has said, by his phenomenal work in Haiti. His establishment of the Clinton Global Initiative, which last week held its 6th annual gathering in New York. And I'm happy to report that the numbers that Dennis gave you are even better as a result of last week's event. It's now 2,000 individual commitments and $63 billion, touching 300 million lives all over the world. It was also to President Clinton that I turned last year at a particularly difficult time during the negotiations on policing and justice in Northern Ireland, to ask him if he would host a special session at Clinton Global Initiative on Northern Ireland and its future economic prosperity and prospects. And of course, he agreed, as always, to do what he could to help the island of Ireland. There were 600 people in the room, there were 400 people outside trying to get in, and there were millions of people watching on television because of all the attention he brought to Northern Ireland. And that was a critical moment, more than many of you will realise, in helping us get across the line at that most critical time in Northern Ireland's history. Put simply, as everyone here knows, there's never been a world leader who has given more to Northern Ireland than Bill Clinton. This is the man who has visited Northern Ireland more than any other political leader in history, 6 times as of yesterday. This is the man who sent George Mitchell to Northern Ireland and told him, "Don't come home until the job is done." And by God, did he live up to that dictation. This is the man who gave Gerry Adams a visa to allow him to come to America when everybody else said, "You can't and you shouldn't do it." A transformative moment that changed the history not only of Northern Ireland, but for conflict resolution, an example all over the world. This is the man who worked the phones night and day in the run-up to the final agreement on the Good Friday Agreement to help make sure that it became a reality, never assuming it would until the last moment and until the last piece of ink was dry on the page. This is also the man who, with his wife, Secretary Clinton, has done more than any other individual political figure to highlight Northern Ireland as a place with a bright future, where economic prosperity and investment is a path to the future and not looking to the past. As Dennis has said, it is no coincidence that this great, wonderful, yet humble man from Hope, Arkansas, has been the one who has provided more hope to the people on the island of Ireland than anyone else in the world. It is our honour to have him speak to us here tonight. He is a great friend of mine, a great friend of everybody in this room, and I think the greatest hero that this island has ever seen. Please be upstanding for the 42nd President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton.